Hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everybody. My name is Shannon L. Shook, and I'm here playing Katawa Shoujo. It's episode is episode 9. This time, I'm actually right. It's not 8.5 like I said it was before, cause that was a thing, alright. What the fuck? I'm sorry, that was just weird. I noticed something was weird with my keyboard. It's like I've never noticed that before. Would you look at that? So crazy. Anyway, so hello everybody. Welcome to episode number 9 of Katawa Shoujo. So I was tempted to wait an extra day. I had to see, because you never know how many people are gonna end up watching the video. So far, very little people. Very little. It's not like I don't mean necessarily little people. I don't. People of the dwarf persuasion. That's not what what am I going for? Point is, only so many people watch my video. So I was wondering whether or not I should just wait and for a little extra longer, and maybe an extra day or two, to see if any other votes came in for who was best girl. And then I remembered, oh wait, literally everyone who's voted, all 3 of you voted for Hanako. So one extra vote to the contrary is not going to change anything. So, Hanako, I like it. She's beautiful. She's so kind. She's she's a little bun. And she's got a special place in my heart. Over in the Pokemons and such. Oh, little one. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, in the last not really episode, we went out to go running again. For the second time. And then we met up with Emmy, and she was like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? And then we were like, let's go running. And then she was all like, hey, man, I'm running. And then I was like, hey, she's running fast. But I'm like, I'm slowing up. I can't do this. I'm so fat. I can't do it. And then I was like, can I do it? Or can I not do it? And you know what? The answer to that question is, good sir, we sure as shit cannot do it. No one said Emmy. Anyway, fuck. Okay. I let Emmy go at her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to be going. There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is it even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Emmy keeps going, and it almost seems to me like she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. Come to think of it, I've got nothing to prove to myself either. I'm just fine the way I am. And what I'm not is a runner. This is probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks, anyway. There's got to be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe. Nice afternoon walks. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. I wave to Emmy and head back to my room. This is one of the few things that makes me a little sad about this part of the game. Is you run into Emmy twice up at this point. And spoilers here and now for what that was. It's obviously, if you choose the other way, it locks you into Emmy's route. But you meet her twice and barely ever talk to her, barely get to learn anything about her. I fucking adore Emmy. Emmy's the shit. But Emmy was the first route I ended up going into just because I was like, fuck it, wing it. And I completely forgot the dude had a disability. You'd think I would remember that, considering it's literally in the title of the game, but shut up. Yeah, it's really sad because she doesn't get much time to shine, and holy fucking shit does she shine later in the game. Just not when the choice matters, you know. It's sad. Either way, I'm still okay with what's going on. I'll think something else later. Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar roll of medication bottles lined up on the top of my dresser. It makes me depressed, as usual. It's annoying. I thought it was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing. Gotten over it. But what I really did... I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget what life is, that life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it's still a life in progress. That's how I'll rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundless like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, hey man, I didn't notice either. I am very tired. I just recorded 2 episodes of Pokemon. It was soul crushing. I think it's more like you didn't. Oh shit, this is your line. I'm sorry. You should probably take that one. I don't need it. I have many lines of my own. Thank you very much.
I think it's more like you didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping?
Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it'd be a good idea to find out what the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want.
So then what's in the bag?
Get in the bag, Nebby! Okay, sorry. I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy.
Okay. So you didn't go shopping, but you went I thought you didn't go outside.
I wear a hat now.
Me too, bruh. Hat 24/7. Except when I sleep. I used to sleep in my hat. This is a true fact about me. I used to literally just sleep in my hat. I wear a hat fucking constantly. I wear it so much that the top of my head is literally ripped in half, and it's barely a fucking hat anymore. It's more just like the front of a hat and the back of a hat, barely held together. I need a fucking new hat. I decide not to point out that he is not, in fact, wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound in the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent.
I never study.
Oh.
I just wanted to know when the next test date was. I'm still gonna take it, duh.
I need to know what the fucking Christ. I need to know so I know what day
I can afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on the crap by phone, so I decided to step out and check up on it.
And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone?
I don't carry a phone.
What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home?
Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones? I have no phone.
Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? Like none?
I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why, I just think it's more of a kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It is my darkest secret. I have 2 theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some unidentified, anonymous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly that I can't even remember it.
Beaten in the head?
Well, where else could I have been beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass?
Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep, dude. Have a good one.
Classes are gonna start in like 20 minutes.
I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2, because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries.
Thanks, but no thank you.
Whatever, man. You bastard.
He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to class. God damn. Kenji is just a fucking thing and a half, isn't he? I didn't even I have no... I've played this game multiple times before. I've never had memory of him doing the thing with the phone. I've never had that phone conversation before. I don't think. I'm losing my mind. I've just skipped things. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces now, though the names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first day is I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I love that movie. Not really. What are we talking about? What? I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds.
Games and fried food.
Everyone bursts out into laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. Dumb bitch. Oh. The remainder of his sentence is buried beneath a ring of lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. Poor bastard. It's crowded in the hall. Hey, everybody, calm down. I'm trying to read here, motherfuckers. I'm crowded. Shit. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Goddamn.
Hisao! I'm gonna make you a one-time only, super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunchboxes, and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties.
Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as though an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her own very modest chest out, making the V for victory sign in her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited?
You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company.
That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. Like all this is stuff that should have been before that option. You should have had the option to have lunch with her first so you could get to know her face.
So how about it? You're probably really lonely, and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding.
Sure, I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure.
Let's go to the roof.
The roof? Why the roof?
Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll be hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself.
Who will?
Come with me.
Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make the conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily.
Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it.
Huh. What is she so goddamn tiny? She don't eat no food. She's always running all the time. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door complete with a missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed that lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs.
Eek!
Hello?
Yipes, you scared me, Rin.
Wait, isn't she...
Hello?
Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
I look confusedly at Emmy. She's the friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school.
I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. Your taste in men is deplorable.
That awkward silence lasts only a few minutes until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited us out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better.
Oh, does this mean that I don't give food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch?
Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking. Pardon me for a moment. Okay, everybody, I am back. Apologies for the interruption. Anyway, they walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. I need to get back into the groove. I had to run and go do stuff. Music. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not nearly as popular as it is in other schools. Is that a thing? Probably in Japan. I don't know. You don't fuck around on the roof on our schools here. Come on, this is just ridiculous. You're gonna die. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look a little less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence and take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Shh. Don't worry about it. It's quiet. Shh. Don't ignore any sounds that you may be hearing. It's cold. I have to put a blanket on my goddamn legs because it's fucking freezing. I look like a 60 to 70-year-old woman. Not that that's a bad thing. They're gorgeous. They're in your prime. That's what we're gonna call that. What that is. That's arguably a lie. But somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of the big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody else has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or to get their senses overloaded by neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine. Looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think about how I really feel about it. When I step out the shadow of the clock tower to the open. Right. I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. We're on the road to cerulean Sorry. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Isao. What are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. Goddamn. Girls, calm down. It's not that serious. I'm not ready for this yet. I am still a young man. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. Here we go! Lunch as promised. Homemade. No, homemade, no less. There we go. Got it. Fucked me up with that comma there. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks. I make them myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I said about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of mood into her mouth using only her feet. Did I say a forkful of mood? What? I don't even know. I don't know. My brain's already completely given up on trying to remember. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed by her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to the sight such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Nope, nope. I saw Rin move, so I just assumed it was her talking. Shut the fuck up. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What happened if you lose it? Did you become a dude? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. So how'd you two meet? Rin, I put them together. I ship it. Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we'd complement each other so well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? Ah. So I started helping Rin to get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses the moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking right now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I
see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes.
Give me my juice box, put the straw in the box. It is some grape in my juice box.
I'm sorry, I'm just kind of... She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry... Motherfucker, that's no grape juice. That's cranberry juice. Insanity. One to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time... but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, Hisao, how do you like it up here?
It's quite nice, actually. Oh, shit. It's quite nice, actually. I like high class. Nice. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat lunch with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature. The nerve of some people! Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just have to keep eating lunch all alone.
I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I have ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding! I was kidding! I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location. The company's okay, too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Rin, you finished your lunch again. You didn't finish your lunch again!
Saved it. Again, one word completely changed that entire conversation. I wasn't that hungry.
If you don't eat more, you're just gonna fade away.
Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together.
So quickly that you can track me down and make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you are confusing me with yourself.
I don't think so. That'd be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you.
You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell.
And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. She just called you a bitch.
Give me my juice box, put the straw in the box. It is some grape in my juice box.